Alright, coming up we have Star Tropics 2 with Zoda Stone again. He played Star Tropics earlier on this marathon, and sequel coming up right here.
There we go. Stream looks live. This should be fun. Big congratulations to Princeleaf. That was an awesome run. Alright, looks like we're ready to get started. Time starts when I select the file, which is different than the timing for Star Tropics 1. Don't ask me why. Alright. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Chapter 1 out of 9. First game had 8 chapters, this one has 9, because it, has to go one step further. So, if you missed Star Tropics 1, the plot from that game was you rescued your uncle from aliens and rescued this alien girl from the aliens also. And now she's just chit-chatting to us about some dream she had. And we're gonna go talk to our uncle, who looks a lot older than he did in the first game. And it turns out that the message in Mika's dream is some sort of clue to decode some cipher that the professor was working on or something. So we say the magic words and the book goes insane and Mike falls into the void. Great start, right? Yeah, one of the bigger complaints I have about this game in comparison with Star Tropics 1 is that the story is just a little bit off-kilter. Alright, so Chapter 2. First chapter is all text. Okay, so first up is this snowy section. I'm going to walk a very particular path here, because there are pitfalls on certain squares in this area. And if you fall on one, then you have to spend a few minutes doing a dungeon, and I don't want to do that. There's enough dungeons in this game already. I have to wait there for that NPC, because she always tends to block you. Pick up our primary early weapon in the game, the axe. The axe is 1,000,000 times worse than the yo-yo from the first game. Pretty much every single weapon in this game is a thrown item. Or let me change that to every weapon in this game is a thrown item. There's a lot less variation as far as the weapons go than in Star Tropics 1. But it's what we've got. You'd think Mike would have like all 22 hearts and a supernova. This game's only supposed to take place a few months after the first game, but oh well. Alright, so here comes the first dungeon. Already you see some big changes. I'm no longer locked in on a grid, although the architecture, as you can see, is very grid-based still. I can move in 8 directions now instead of 4. There's also a tiered system. Everything has a certain height to it, even your weapon as you throw it. Which really makes the overall speed mechanics for this game completely different than in the first game. In the first game, if you watched my run, you saw me walking up to enemies and killing them at point-blank range. Well, in this game, it doesn't matter how far away you are from an enemy, you always fire at the same rate. So I'm just using the absolute limits of the range of my weapons. Exactly the opposite is the speed spat in Star Tropics 1. This game does demand a lot more of my attention, so I apologize in advance if my commentary isn't quite where it was with Star Tropics 1. Just taking out some bears. Mike does a lot more wildlife destruction in this game than in the first game. If you had talked to a few of the NPCs in the village, in that caveman village, they would have given you some sob story about how some monster kidnapped the children. So we're going to go save the children by destroying the wildlife. All of the enemies always have the same spawn position and same initial direction of movement, but after that, pretty much everything moves very randomly. Hardest boss right here. And he's dead. You saw that boar that he was munching on. Most people's first instincts when they enter this room is, hey, it's a boar, kill it. If you kill the boar, then that guy gets really pissed off that you destroyed his lunch. And then he starts going crazy and attacking you really fast. He actually becomes a really hard boss. I'm going to try and do a glitch here. It's frame perfect, though. And I got it. Perfect. So you see the screen sort of bugging out right now. I pressed select to initiate the "You are now on Chapter 2" text box on the same frame that the text box for that cutscene loaded. And that caused that cutscene to wig out and actually end about 3 seconds faster than it would have if I had just played it normally. Alright, so you saw that Tetris piece that we picked out right after that glitch. The whole point of this game is to collect the Tetris pieces, or tetrads, because Mika tells us to. Mika, wait. Tetrads? What's a tetrad? Wait, look at the block! That's tetrad 1 out of 7. Funny thing is, when this game was released on Virtual Console, Nintendo no longer had the right to the Tetris franchise, really, so they couldn't use the word tetrad. Instead, they changed it to block. So that cutscene just looks completely stupid. Mike literally says, block? What's a block? Wait, look at the block. That's it, I already have a block. It's just, could you not come up with another name? Alright, chapter 3. Every single chapter is going to take place in a different, super generic place in history. One thing that I was really bummed out when I played this game for the first time is that there's no chapter that takes place in, like, the future. Like, you can imagine them writing some really elaborate story where you have to travel into the bad future that, like, the evil Zoda people have taken over, and then fix the future, kind of like Sonic CD or something, but no. That would be asking way too much for the story from this game. Alright, so we're in ancient Egypt, if you hadn't guessed already. And we're about to get the most awesome mission ever assigned in any video game ever. I may be able to help you. I know of this tetrad. Do you like pizza? I love pizza. Bring me pizza now. So we're gonna go get Cleopatra her pizza so that she can help us cross the river to where the next tetrad is. And it's just so convenient that on the other side of this next dungeon is a pizza. Not exactly sure why. This dungeon is where I reset the most often. There's a trick in the middle of it that's pretty tough, so hopefully I don't screw it up. But first, more wildlife destruction. And now we have some plain old reskins of the golden bears from the previous dungeon. You don't have to kill this wildlife, fortunately. That would take a long time. Porcupines. If they see you on the same horizontal or vertical row or column, then they will do a rolling attack at you when they're invincible. Now it's a pretty good pattern. Those Cyclopses are really random. If you get a bad pattern, then they can flat out corner you and damage you. Something that I haven't talked about yet, and hopefully won't have to too much, is that in this game, you have hardly any invincibility frames in contrast to the first game. So if you get hit by something, chances are you're going to get hit multiple times in a row, and everything does a lot of damage in this level. Alright, here's the trick. And I got it. That pit right there is 2 tiles wide, I guess you'd say, so I'm not supposed to be able to jump over it. But by sort of clipping against that column that was above the pit, I pushed myself to the right just far enough to be able to make that jump. Alright, now the boss. In a level of scorpions, we have a giant scorpion. Star Tropics series did that a lot. Nice, I got him in a good spot. And he should be dead any second now. There we go. That was a good fight, and I didn't take any damage. Is it Cyclopi? I don't even want to think about it right now. I've got enough to think about. Wow, you've done it. They're smart to carry that over from the first game. Alright, so now we're going to hijack this camel, which has 2 humps, even though 2-humped or dromedary camels were native to Asia, and Egyptian camels only have 1 hump. But who cares? It's a video game. And yes, this is a first-party title, so Nintendo is free to and does make references to a lot of other things. And it just so happens that this guy has a pizza, so we'll just take it from him. Run, run, hurry, hurry! Quick, give it to me before it cools. I like how she said, like the pizza man said that this was an extra large pepperoni, when that is clearly not just a pepperoni pizza. But where's the pizza from? Caesar's. Caesar's. Caesar's Hut. That's so ridiculous. She is a knockout. Please, game. Papa John's. That's what Papa John's was before they were bought by Papa John, was Caesar's Hut. We just got a weapons upgrade. We traded our axe for a dagger. Unlike in the first game, although this will come back later, I don't need to have like 6 hearts or anything to be able to use the dagger. The dagger is just mine to use now. It does maybe 25% more damage and has slightly, very slightly longer range. But I'll take it. I actually could have gotten the dagger early. There's a secret cave, but there's so much walking, and the 25% damage increase really isn't enough to make up for it. It's actually quite close. I timed it, and I found that it was only about 2 seconds slower to get the dagger early. Unavoidable pitfall there, so we have a bit of a mini dungeon. We got some frogs that might be Cyclops frogs, I'm not sure. And some crocodiles and some geese. vomiting bread, I guess. The enemy selection in this game is just weird. It's weird. And you can't see it because he's facing the wrong way, but that was supposed to be a hippo. Oh right, this part. I should explain this. So there are invisible walls everywhere, and if you walk up on those pedestals, you can see them briefly. But obviously I'm not going to do that because that takes time. So I've just, in advance, completely memorized the fastest route through here. I have all sorts of visual cues on the borders of the screen that tell me when to turn. We also saw a heart container back there. Same thing in Star Tropics 1 about heart containers works in this game, which is that if you skip a heart container, the game just gives it to you at the end of the chapter. So once again, we won't be grabbing any heart containers. That was a truly place for you to spawn, good sir. Are there jellyfish? Maybe on the coast. Maybe there might be jellyfish. I'm pretty sure there aren't any floating jellyfish in Egypt. I'd be scared to go there if there was. Alright, so this is the last segment of the forest maze. This one's the trickiest to walk through. There are a lot of weird visual cues that force me to constantly change which side of the screen I'm looking on. Up there, deep left, right there, up in this column, left there, up just after halfway, right there, down there, up before I pass that. It's just, it took quite a while for me to learn how to walk through this optimally. But other than that, the game is pretty straightforward to learn, although the run's a little bit long. It's like a little bit over an hour. So we found this stupid monkey that we've been chasing the whole time, and the monkey can talk, and it gives us a new weapon, so it was worth it. The Psychic Shockwave. The Psychic Shockwave does not do very much damage at all, but you can fire it a lot faster, which gives you the ability to stun lock some enemies. So you're going to see me in this dungeon switching a whole lot between the two weapons. This barrier is only destroyable by the Psychic Shockwave. Hitboxes, please. The hitboxes in this game are very wonky. That's probably the biggest obstacle, aside from that dumb maze, to learning this game, is becoming familiar with where the actual hitboxes of all the enemies are, because quite frequently you'll throw, like your first time through, you'll throw a weapon at an enemy and it'll just pass right through the sprite because the hitbox is in the wrong spot. These zombie tutu-wearing things are only vulnerable to the shockwave, so that's why I switched. These little mummies are unfair. They move so fast, and they can combo you very easily. The Nubus-looking thing there. There's a lot of just really bizarre, generic choices of enemy here. That snake, as you can see, is very random. He actually doesn't try to attack you at all. He just moves randomly, and if he sees you, then he starts moving faster, but still randomly, making no real attempt to go towards you. Those skeleton guys are invincible, but I can freeze them with one shot, which is why I'm using the shockwave. It fires faster, so one shot of the shockwave versus one shot of the dagger, the shockwave's faster. That guy's supposed to stay in that top corner, but he didn't. Oh well. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like in Star Tropics 1, it's very important to know how many hits all of the minor enemies take. Because every time... Oops, that's bad. Right there, I have to press up for a single frame. Or, I think it doesn't have to be exactly one frame. Maybe like 1 or 2 frames. Otherwise, I end up back on the wrong conveyor belt. That's alright. Got some backup hearts here that don't take too long to get. That. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then hope this guy doesn't run away, as he so frequently does. spooky, scary snake room. We'll be coming back to this in a second. You see I'm slightly above that mummy. I'm trying to position myself on the right horizontal row of pixels so that no matter which one of those 2 rows adjacent to it the mummy ends up on, I can still hit it. The hitbox for your weapon, I jumped on that, I'm positive. Please, game. The hitbox for your weapon is surprisingly narrow, which most of the time is the reason why you miss enemies whenever that happens. So we got the flute, use it in the room with the snake, and we got some more snakes, except these ones you can kill. Very easy to lose a lot of time in there, as you can see. Those guys move really fast, really randomly. Couldn't really avoid getting hit there. That's a really trolly spot. And now we have the boss, the spooky pharaoh mask thing. When he's back at that top row, only the shockwave will reach him. The shockwave has a slightly longer range than the dagger, which is why I used the shockwave for that fight. Otherwise I have to keep switching weapons, and that's no fun. Wow, you've done it. So I'm trying to keep things lively, but as you can see, there's a lot more go in room, kill all enemies in room, go to next room type of things in this game. Star Tropics 1, you have those tiles that go up and down, you have puzzles and stuff that you have to solve. Not so much in this game. Oh, there is one dungeon later on that I really like that's a little bit more puzzle-based. Where will we end up now? Skype, please scroll down. Thank you. Well, if you can read really, really fast, you saw that we were in London. Who's that guy? You shout, "You mean Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?" Every time Mike talks in this game, they preclude it with "you shout." It's like Mike is constantly running around shouting all the time. The first time I played this game, I actually did not have this game as a kid. I played this game blind on my channel about, I'd say a year ago, maybe a year and 2 months. I made a joke earlier on in Chapter 3, like when some NPC said some really obvious thing, I said, "Yeah, no, well, no duh, Sherlock," or something like that. And I could see that chat was kind of sort of going a little bit funny. And then when I got to here, I was like, aha! I accidentally called out a thing in the game. Oh yeah, while I was telling that story, we just got arrested by a cop and then immediately broke out of jail. Star Tropics logic. So Sherlock told us to meet him at this museum to look at this. Oh hey, we need that. We should have just grabbed it right now and then we could leave and skip this whole chapter, but nope. Zoda X, who is actually a clone of Zoda, just steals that. So we're going to spend the rest of the chapter chasing Zoda X and killing him. This dungeon introduces my least favorite mechanic in the game, which are the rafts. Any other platform in the game, when you run up to the edge of it, the game stops you like that. But the rafts, you can walk right off the edge, and Mike still can't swim. You walk off the edge of that raft, you dead. You go back. Another glitch jump here. Got it. I, again, clip against that little bit of a corner to push myself up to that ledge. That's the last of the skips. There are only 2 of those in the whole run. Going up and down and up and down. Ow. Takes too long to kill those guys, so if I take a little bit of damage, that's alright. Diagonal, diagonal, left, left, diagonal, right, diagonal, diagonal. And then we have the worst enemy in the game, the owls. They gave me a good pattern, though. Now this boss. This boss gives a lot of people trouble. Especially for speedrunning. And I got him. If you mess up any of your inputs during that fight, the platform that you're on is probably going to sink and you're going to die. There he is. Nah, let's not chase him. Let's stand here and count our points. That sounds like a much better idea. And save the game. We need to do that too. How come no one plays Star Tropics 2? My impression is that a lot of people, even the people who know about Star Tropics, don't even know it exists. This game was really not publicized at all, and it was released so late in the NES library. I saw some people talking about that in the chat already. The game was released in '94. That was pretty much the last year for US NES games. There were a few PAL games in '95. Raticate used Tail Whip. Raticate's attack missed. More owls. More trolly as heck owls. The owls do 1.5 hearts of damage just for touching you. It's so mean. You meant Star Tropics 1? I don't know. Everybody should play Star Tropics 1. That game's awesome. I'm gonna try for the double kill here. Got it. That's really tight. This part's a maze. There are 3 spots where you can fall down, leading to different paths, but if you know where you're going, then this part's actually really short. Ow. Alright, that works. These discs, I mentioned, the discs do a lot more damage than any of your other weapons. So it was worth it in that first room of the dungeon for me to go out of my way and get them. How convenient. 2 hearts when, well, actually I need 2.5, but close enough. You see that sign that's carried over from Star Tropics 1? However, in Star Tropics 1, if you got that sign, there was a chance that you would lose 1 life. In this game, they took that out, so you always get either +1 or +2. How nice of them. I actually would prefer if they had left it in, because as a result of that, my first time through, this room's actually a checkpoint room. I kept respawning in here, picking up my free extra life, and charging into the boss with no resources, which you can build up earlier on in the level. So I actually probably could have finished off this dungeon for the first time a lot faster if I had game over it and started it over. Alright, this boss, I mean, you just take one look at this. This is going to be trolly as heck. And I hope for a good pattern here. Yes, he did his flame attack. That means he's going to stand there for a while. And hopefully I can kill him. Got him. Awesome. That's the 1 cycle. He has another attack where he... Mike, please. He has another attack where he just throws skulls at you and then immediately disappears. And after he disappears, he takes a long time to reappear again. You lose about 9 seconds if you get a 2 cycle instead of a 1 cycle. I was really happy to pull that off. And Zoda X conveniently left the Tetrad on dry land right after the dungeon that he was in. You think if he was smart, he would have just thrown the Tetrad into the water, since Mike can't swim, but nah. One of his weaknesses. Not the smartest cookie on the block. Alright, so here's Sherlock, who did absolutely nothing this entire chapter. Thanks, Sherlock. Ah! Yep, it is the exact same cutscene between every dungeon. Alright, so now we're in the Old West. Probably can't tell yet, just cactuses and stuff, but once we go in here... There, Old West. I really like the covered wagons that have S&T, Star, and Tropics on them. That's a really cute touch. It's required to go into this house and talk to this guy. If you watch the Star Tropics 1 run, you saw that in a lot of the towns, I had to like run around and talk to almost everybody in each of the towns in order to progress. There's a lot less of that in this game, which is a welcome improvement for me. Or by me, or insert correct preposition here, me. I can't grammar and run this at the same time. It's too much brain usage. Freaking Skype window is flashing at me. You don't need to flash. I see you there. Alright, so we got some dynamite from this guy. He wouldn't have given us the dynamite if I hadn't talked to the other guy first. If you go in the bar, yes, you can go in the bar and you can drink some stuff, although it's supposed to be non-alcoholic. It's supposed to. You can get a hint that tells you the correct spot to bomb in this wall. Or you can just brute force it and bomb every single spot. That works too. If you bomb certain spots, you can get gold nuggets, which you can exchange with that shop guy for 1,000 points. And no, the points don't do anything. You can also pick up chicken nuggets, which gives some of the best dialogue in the game. Unfortunately, it takes time to do that. Alright, this dungeon is really trolly. You have these scorpion guys whose the bullets for the scorpion's hitboxes are like 1,000,000 times larger than they should be. You have to be really careful around them. It's extremely important for me to finish this dungeon with as much health as possible. Those boulders are the same every time, so no big sweat. Cactus men. How creative. Alright, this room's the tough one to get through without getting hit much. They do give you those hearts, but they take time to get hearts. Alright, this room's also evil. You hit a treasure chest, it turns into a crazy coin. And those coins, if you get a bad pair, they can straight up combo you and take away like 4 or 5 hearts. Alright, the boss is sort of a short dungeon. I call him the basketball soccer playing Cyclops man. I will kick in the air one last time before I explode. Alright, so I have full health, which is awesome. Because in this next dungeon, I'm going to need it. Random donkey. Talking donkey. What is this, Shrek? Nah, he gives us a super psychic shockwave, which does more damage and goes farther than our old psychic shockwave. It's going to become sort of our main weapon in this dungeon. You do need 5 hearts to use it, though. 5 red hearts. I might, in a world record attempt, I might think about skipping this potion, or I might still get it anyway. But since this is a marathon, I'm definitely going to grab it. That should have hit me. Not sure why it didn't. Really important to not take damage in these early rooms. It's the mini-boss of this dungeon where I need all my health. Treadmills and boulders, how fun. Just memorize the route, try to go with the flow of the arrows. I got a star. If I use that star, it makes me invincible for like 10 seconds. And then I'm gonna want that to, I wanna go, okay, bleh. Hard to talk while doing this room. I'm gonna want to use that on the boss. This is the mini boss. This is evil. That guy blocked my shots. I didn't want him to spawn there. You should be almost dead. Okay, good. I got him with the jump shot. So yeah, you can see that was 4 cycles. I think the fastest you can do is 2, which my PB got 2 cycles. It's just very dependent on which any of the 4 corners of that screen where he spawns, as well as how those little mini gold Pillsbury Doughboy men, how those move. I'm gonna take an intentional damage boost here, but not here. It's actually faster to keep the health. I'll explain why in a bit. Alright, here's the boss. He has the stun attack and these randomly moving rocks, which make him an absolute nightmare to hit him. So I'm going to use my potion just to get full health. I'll explain why I want to do that in a second. And then I'll use the star to just camp out inside of him and annihilate this guy. Otherwise, it could take forever to kill him. My PB is 1 hour, 1 minute, and 20 seconds. We're on pretty good pace. I don't think we're quite world record pace, but we haven't died yet, so not bad. Okay, so why did I want to have full health? Well, every time you get a tetrad... Wait for it. Your life level increases. The less health you have, the longer it takes for your hearts to fill up. It's kind of like Zelda 1. It was exactly the same as Zelda 1, really. Every time you get a Triforce piece, you want to have a whole bunch of health so that the cutscene doesn't take very much time. Alright, so that was the real big run killer. Chapters 3 and 5 are the biggest run killers in this, and we're through them, so I'm happy about that. Entering next generic historical place. Probably can't tell, but this is Italy! So we have some Italian music, except not really. We have a Mario character. And a Luigi character. If you talk to that Luigi guy, he says that he was the pizza delivery man from Chapter 3, which makes no sense. That guy in brown, if you talk to him, he says he's got maps to all the famous artists' homes, and he goes off and lists all the Ninja Turtles, so this game likes to reference a lot of things. This is Leonardo da Vinci. He's kind of stuck right now, so we're going to go help him out by going into his extremely dangerous basement. This is one of my favorite dungeons in the game. There isn't anything to kill in here. It's all about not dying and surviving traps. Look at my weapon. That was not the dagger. That was actually the upgraded version of the dagger. And it's only there for that one screen. I have no idea why. Return of the rafts. Except now we've got little spiky things to jump over. Da Vinci does not want anyone messing around in his basement. This is like what people used to do before patent protection was a thing. They just had all sorts of crazy traps in their basement to prevent people from stealing things. Alright, these 2 rooms are really cool to speedrun. Hit the ball in the hole. That one's pretty basic. This one's not. Nailed it! Haha! That's my strat. I love it when that strat works. It looks so cool. Wow, you've done it! And we get maximum points, because just like in Star Tropics 1, the more enemies you kill, the fewer points you get, and there's nothing to kill in that dungeon, so max points. I should move, be a good idea. We got a hammer, we got a chisel. Now we're going to kind of sort of carefully. This looks dangerous. One wrong slip of that chisel and Mike just completely alters history. Alright, so we've got Da Vinci. Da Vinci is about to give us a weapon upgrade. Being that he's Leonardo and we've already had a Turtles reference, what weapon do you think he's going to give us? Oh yeah, we also did that. Good job, Mike. It's a katana, of course. You would think that Mike would swing the katana, but nope, you throw katanas. You throw all weapons in this game. So we're just cruising around, chatting with Mika. This island has a heart container on it. We don't need those. Alright, time for the crazy, mysterious island castle thing. I'm not exactly sure what the official name for this place is called. It's really evil for a speedrun, and I'll explain why. Just like that snow area at the very beginning of the game, there are random pitfalls everywhere in here. So I'm going to hug the bottom wall. And now hug the top wall. I have lots of specific ways in which to walk through this place so you don't step on any of the pitfalls. However, some of the pitfalls are unavoidable. And when I step on the one that I'm about to step on, the dungeon that I have to complete is randomly picked out of 4. Some are short, some are longer. Let's see what I get. This is the shortest one. This is perfect. Step on the switch, and I'm out of here. There's one where you have to jump all over the place. It takes forever. And then the other 2, you have to kill enemies, which is longer, of course, than stepping on a switch. Another pitfall here. This dungeon's not random. It's always this one at the same time. I do have to go up. If I go in any of the other 3 directions, I get sort of kicked out and have to do the dungeon over again. That damage is unfortunate. But it's alright. We're still looking pretty good. Down there, up there, down there. You do not want to fall in a pitfall right before the tetrad. The dungeons, the random dungeons in this specific area on this screen, they're really long. They take like 3 minutes to do. But wait, you hear an evil voice bellowing from beyond. Seizure warning, the screen's gonna flash a whole lot during this cutscene. Whoa, this is radical. Really, Mike? So we get warped to somewhere not of our own volition. Usually we read the book to get warped, but that time Zoda Y warped us to Chapter 7. You'd think he would just, like, warp us, like, into the middle of a volcano or something so we would die. But nope, we're perfectly safe. Alright. It's a few days late, but it's scary, spoopy mansion time. This is where the run starts to get serious. I might not talk as much. First off, we have Frankenstein monsters, which turn into Frankenpants. You want to give them their first hit while they're facing you, because then the pants will walk towards you and you can kill them faster. Yep, there are 9 chapters. There's about 20 minutes left in the run. More Mario references. If you couldn't tell, that one boo that I was hitting was off color. That's the one you have to hit. This guy, you can only hit him on his tombstone. He's like a Dark Knight. Maze portion here. If you don't hold a direction, you'll fall down that next pit and go all sorts of weird places that we don't want to go. that guy is a jerk. He's programmed to run away from you, as you can see, and he drops these exploding mine things. If you get a bad pattern, it can take quite a while to kill him. I'm happy I don't have to kill those Frankenstein guys, because they're trolls. Now we're going to kill the king from Casino Kid. I'm not sure if anybody in here knows that game or what that character looks like, but he looks exactly like that. I did not want to get hit there, but oh well. Carrying on. Alright, this is one of the worst rooms in the game. You have to fight this guy, and there's all sorts of spots where things can go wrong. Please, die. There we go. Gotta grab this potion and use it. It's faster to fill up your health with a potion than the tetrad, which is right after this fight, so I'm gonna use the potion. I'm gonna try and get a 2-cycle on this guy's first phase. That was a really, really good first cycle. I don't want to get hit here, though. Awesome. Good first phase. He has a second phase, though. Look out. It's a crazy owl thing. This guy's actually genuinely disturbing. That's not a good counterattack that I did there. Ideally, I want to kill him before he starts running away like that, because that takes time. That's alright, we're through. I still have some health. The important thing is I didn't jump in the pit while trying to hit him. I've done that during a really good run in the past. I was pretty upset. He got more handsome. Depends how you define handsome. So yeah, that's why I didn't want to get hit, because this cutscene is going to take a little bit longer than the other ones have so far. Alright, so only 2 more chapters, 2 more locations left in the game. Whee! You slip to another time and space. Why can't they give you, at least Star Tropics 1, they give you different text every time you go to a different chapter, just to give you a little bit of an overview as to what's happening? Not here. Alright. We are now in Camelot. If these trees look familiar, that's because they're basically stripped from Dragon Quest. I'm not sure which game. Maybe multiple. Here's our friend King Arthur. He looks like he's about 8 feet tall in that overworld sprite. He's a really cool guy, though. Because he has the power to give people heart containers. That'd be the best job in the world. Just go around and give people heart containers. I'd love that job. Oh, by the way, he asked us if we would go kill some dragon. I know, original story. You actually get the option to pick yes or no. If you pick no, he says, "We have enough cowards, get out of here." And then he won't talk to you until you leave the castle and walk back in. Okay, Chapter 8 dungeons. These are also pretty serious-y. Oh, this first one's probably my favorite dungeon in the game. It's this really cool mechanic. Kill the enemies, then you fall through the floor, and you have to land up here, otherwise you have to repeat the whole segment. Alright, this room is awful. I have to fight this guy, but I can't reach him sometime. That was pretty good RNG, though. Would rather have not landed on the spikes, but I'll take it. Knights, because what other enemy are you going to have in a Camelot-based dungeon. You do go faster if you hold the same direction as the conveyor belt, so up, down. Those knives spawn in the same point every time, so this one's down, up. And then the last one's down, straight. So a bit of a curveball at you. Alright, this boss makes the most annoying noise in the game. And he's dead. I got him in 3 cycles, that's the fastest you can do. Actually, I lied, that's not the most annoying noise in the game. When you get down to low health, hopefully that never happens, but because it's the most annoying low health noise I have ever heard in any video game ever. Look it up if you want, if you dare. Alright, so now we have an owl. Plot twist, the owl is a monkey. Plot twist, the monkey is a donkey. Plot twist, it's Merlin. I don't know. His hand is like really meaty. It's kind of disturbing. So he tells us that he was actually friends with Mika's dad, who's an alien, which is weird. But he gives us the Ultra Psychic Shotgun, which is cool. It does a little bit more damage than the old one, and has full screen range, so it's going to become our primary weapon from this point onwards. Alright, this is the most serious dungeon in the run. I want to really concentrate here. Good. This enemy is called a Zoda. I think that's an awesome name. That fight could have gone a little bit better, but he didn't give me the pattern I was hoping for. Oh well. Good. This room really is just kill everything, next room, kill everything, next room. It's quite long, so might not be the most interesting thing to watch, but it's really fun to run. You just get into a rhythm. Please die. Please not. Oh my gosh. These guys move so fast. I should have done that better, but you can see those guys are just trolls. That dungeon room is brought to you by the letter H. I totally didn't steal that joke from SGDQ. So yeah, the slimes are pretty RNG and they could cost you a lot of time. What else costs you a lot of time is in this room. See that yellow guy? He literally is a dark nut. He has a shield. If you try to hit him when his shield is at you, it doesn't do any damage. And depending on what he does, he can be a real jerk. The problem is that he's so big. He's a lot bigger than just the one-tile dark nuts in Zelda 1, which makes it really hard to churn around him and get to a spot where you can hit him. By the time you do that, he's changed which direction he's facing already, and you gotta do it all over again. Ow, that was my mistake. It's alright though, there's a spot where I can get some hearts to fill that back up. One of them wasn't bad enough, so now we have 2. That guy went down pretty well. There we go. The trick with those guys is that you want to be far away from them and then jump at them while firing your weapon over and over again. See if I can pull it off in this room. Well, I pulled it off on the silver guy. But the problem with trying to do that strat on the gold guy is that you only get one shot. Once you jump at him, if he turns and blocks your shots, then that's it. You jumped at him, you're close to him, and then what do you do? Alright, here's the boss, the dragon that we got assigned to kill. You can only hit his head, and his head is in the air, so that's why I'm constantly jumping and shooting. And he's dead. He forgot to attack us, which is nice. He has 2 attacks. He can either just blow fire all over the place, or when he reaches the bottom of the screen, he'll do a really long and damaging attack, which you don't want. So, good thing I killed him first. Alright, we got the last tetrad. Our health is full, all 20 hearts. The first game had 22 max health, but this game they cut it down to 20, because apparently 22 is too weird of a number. Alright, so Mika says, good job. Come back to Sea Island, we got a problem. Yes, Mika. Somehow Mike knows how to use this book to warp wherever he wants now, even though he just randomly picked it off a shelf in his uncle's office. Alright, if you've played Star Tropics 1 but don't know about this game, then you'll get a kick from playing this last level. Or watching it, that'll work too. So we're back on the same place where we started Star Tropics 1, the same village. Except there's a slight problem, which is that everybody has been turned into a boar. Even the pig that was in the first game has been transformed into a boar, which is weird. Except this guy. This guy was like off fishing when the boar plague struck. So we're gonna go into the first dungeon from the first game and mess with stuff. So yes, this is a throwback to the first dungeon from Star Tropics 1. Except they didn't bring back the exact enemies, they just sort of reused enemies from earlier in the game. That was a troll pattern. Usually I don't have to kill all those guys, but whatever. As long as they don't take too much damage, that's the important thing here. Good. Those bats didn't troll me. That's been giving me trouble lately. The music is nice, although if you ask me for a remix of the Star Tropics dungeon theme, I would tell you the alien spaceship theme from Chapter 7 and 8 in Star Tropics 1. It's a lot better than this, in my opinion. Alright, here's the boss. It's the same snake. He's dead now. He's really angry that I skipped over him when I did the speedrun of the first game, so he's trying to get his revenge. But he failed. Fun fact, it's actually possible to skip that snake boss using a glitch where if you get hit by a projectile on the same frame that you jump in the water, you won't actually fall in the water and you can walk around a bit. And from there you can jump up and just leave. The throwback part is ended, by the way. This is not in Star Tropics 1. There are a lot of potions here, but every time you grab a potion, the game freezes to tell you grabbed a potion, so I don't grab any of them. Make a boss rush! There's usually some twist to all of these boss fights. Like, this guy has a lot more health than he did in the first game. Otherwise, he would have been dead instantly. This next boss, the Scorpion, moves a little bit faster. There's a trick, though, which is that if I stand right here and kill those 2 Scorpions on those 2 shots, he'll just stand there and fire shots which miss me. So he's just dead. That's a really nice manipulation that I didn't found. I think Gubadoo found it. Otherwise, that boss would be a jerk. Mummy Mask, it's a lot easier when you have a full screen weapon. Sometimes he'll just stand in that one spot and let you kill him, so that was slightly non-optimal, but whatever. Alright, this guy. I'm a little bit too close to him. I think. Yep. Yeah. I got on this up arrow right here, and then it started pushing me up. I was one hit away. Gosh darn it. Oh well. It's really tough to position yourself when he spawns there. He can spawn in a slightly better spot. Now this guy, and I don't have an invincibility scar this time, so I just gotta man up and kill him. Try not to get hit by these stones, because they'll combo you. And not get stunned, that'd be a good thing. There we go. Sometimes you can kill him before he does his second attack, so slightly slow, but the important thing is I still have most of my hearts. It's possible to one-cycle the first phase of this guy this time around, but not if he spawns there. That's a bad spot for him to spawn. You have to get really lucky. Like, he has to spawn in the perfect spot, you have to time all of your shots perfectly, and the bats don't have to block any of your shots. All those things have to happen in order to get a one-cycle on the first phase. He has pretty much the same amount of health as he did the first time around, so he should go down slightly faster. Also, it's a really great feathers pattern. I hardly had to make any effort to dodge them. Fun fact, when that boss is dying, these spikes don't hurt you anymore, which lets me set up perfectly to fall right here and start this dragon fight. Sometimes your shots on the dragon just don't hit him. I don't know why. Sometimes so many of your shots will not hit him that he'll make it all the way to the bottom of the screen and do his crazy long attack I talked about before. So, glad that didn't happen. In this room, we're going to have the one and only instance of the pill from Star Tropics 1, which fills up your health to max. Don't blink. There it is. There it goes. And now we're on to the final boss. This is probably tough to see on stream. The one alien that I'm shooting right now is a slightly different color of purple, and is being slightly more trolly than he should be than the others. I would have had to kill the final boss right about now in order to get world record, just to give you an idea of how this run's going. This guy has 2 attacks. He just throws little bullets at you, and he throws those big bullets at you. If you get hit by a big bullet, you get transformed into a boar for about 10 seconds, and while you're a boar, you can't do anything. It's sort of like a temporary eggplant attack. So, it'd be cool if I could show that off, but it would also be really slow and embarrassing. This guy has the same attacks, but if you let him live long enough, he'll start doing really super powerful attacks. I'm going to try and kill him before he has the chance to show any of them to you. And I'm about to fail, I think. Nope, I got him. He was probably like 1 second away from doing a really strong lightning bolt attack. Oh yeah, thank you, girl. That was Zoda Z. We killed Zoda X and Zoda Y. That was Zoda Z. And that's the last of the Zodas. There's one last trick in this run, which is actually really funny. Since I'm not going to PB, I'll do this version of it. Actually, it didn't work. Dang it. There we go. Haha. If you just hold any direction on the D-pad, you can walk right out of that cutscene, and then the game just gets kind of confused. Good job, Nintendo. But no, seriously, this game is actually great. I don't think it's as great as Star Tropics 1, but it's a blast to play, and if you get the chance, I'd recommend going through it. Time stops when I talk to the chief, which is now. Sorry about the late warning. Alright, so with messing around, my timer says 1:02:20. Which is a pretty good run. Only 1 minute off of PB. Alright, so we talked to the Chief. The Chief knows how to put Tetris pieces together, although if you were playing Tetris, you'd probably be pretty concerned at this point. And especially at this point, it's like, Chief? Do you even Tetris, bruh? And I don't know if we're still live or not. We just moved on to the next game. There's only about like 30 seconds left. And the Tetris pieces turn into Mika's dad. So yay, we saved him. And then the best part of the story. Oh yeah, right here. Goodbye, Mike. And then you'd think Mika would be eternally grateful to you for saving her and saving her dad, but nope. See ya. Bye. No. Yeah, that's it. Credits time. Thank you all so much for watching. This was an absolute pleasure to run both games, Star Tropics 1 and Star Tropics 2. And a big shout out to all the people who put together this event. This has been one heck of a marathon. Alright, thanks all for watching again. Enjoy the credits music until the people cut the stream and stuff. See ya!
All right. Thank you, Zoda Stone, for another great Star Tropics run. This time, Star Tropics 2, a super late release on the NES. A really high quality game. If you like the Star Tropics, if you've never played the Star Tropics series, definitely start with 1. Work your way into 2.